We are live. Obviously, we will wait a few more seconds, 30 seconds for people to be notified that we are live. And we are live on Zoom with the one and only Natalia Fata. Okay, people have started to come in. I can see here. Cool.
Okay. Shall we put two screens, or you're going to keep the screens like this way?
I have two screens.
Okay. Because in mine, I can only see.
For me, I have two screens.
That's okay. Yeah, fine.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this special live that I have been announcing. I'm just going to quickly wave. Maybe a few more seconds. We wait.
That's fine.
Welcome, Noor. Welcome, Layal. Welcome, Rooks, Sharon. Now, if you've joined, oh, Serchi is here. Either Saika or Harvey from the Serchi company is here. And my mom.
Awesome.
Bună seara. And Gertrude, of course, our Gertrude is here.
Yes, fantastic.
So for all of you who have joined, since you are live with us, you have to stay live with us for the rest of the live. You are not allowed to go away.
It's going to be a very exciting evening, very informative and very insightful, right?
Well, that's why.
Absolutely, yes. We are well prepared. Okay, let's begin then.
Sure. So tonight I've asked my yoga teacher and my spiritual mentor to join me all the way from Russia here on this special live tonight to speak with us about how we can protect our sanity, how we can stay calm and mindful and not lose it under the circumstances that we are under this pandemic. I truly believe that now more than ever, we need to surround ourselves with as many mentors, spiritual teachers, and people who have been devoting their lives to guide other people spiritually. Because now we are going through turbulent waters. Now we are being tested in many ways.
I totally agree. Yeah.
So welcome to this Zoom Live, Natalia.
Thank you, Andrea, for inviting me. I'm very honored and I'm very happy to meet you online. And I will be very delightful to share my knowledge and experience how to survive during this challenging times and during this pandemic. How to, as you correctly say, how to continue staying sane and peaceful.
So for those of you who haven't seen our talks before, we are going to have a raw and real conversation. We are not here to sell, God forbid, anything. We are not here to be, too academic or too know-it-all. We are here to share your amazing experience because you've been teaching yoga. You've been on this journey for more than 20 years.
That's correct.
Have been teaching across the world, from Russia to Turkey, where you resided for many years, and in Dubai for a good period of time. And because you've been studying hypnotherapy, because you've been touching the lives of thousands of people online and offline, I know, because also you've touched mine, and I know that I have changed after doing my 6 months training with you in 2018, 2019. So I am inviting you to have this discussion about how we can protect our peace of mind. How can we not fight with everybody in our family? How can we survive even though we've lost our job or someone in our family had certain situations? So my first question is, what is happening in the world from your perspective, and how are you coping with it?
Okay. What's happening right now, it's a big test. It's to test how closely we're staying to the light, how closely we're staying and we know ourselves. Because what we observing and why we were caught off guard, because we never experienced so much free time with ourselves, with our families, with children, with everything what's happening around out there, without our control. We are so scared of, and because we lost that control and the fear of uncertainty and the emptiness, it's killing us. Our mind has been designed to always think, process, produce, design, and now it just doesn't have the job to do. The most challenging, if you're a family, like if you're staying with your family, and especially if you have kids, or you're staying with someone, staying for a few weeks, maybe even for months, 24/7, I think this is the biggest challenge, because here we really, really start appreciating and understanding the communication skills, right? Especially with the children, we understand that, like, when they were in the kindergarten or at school, or you and your husband were at work, you were just coming home just to rest, relax, say hi, just spend a few hours, sleep, say again, spend a few hours, and then go back home. But now it's like completely 24 hours. What to do? So now it's for us to really establish strong communication, strong relationship. Forget about the outer world, with ourselves. This is where everything begins, from the knowledge of our true self, from the deep connection with our soul, with our heart. And why people struggle so, like right now, if you look around, why everyone is in such a turmoil? Because they don't know who they are. They don't know what they like, what they dislike, and what is best for them. They forgot the knowledge how to nourish this light, how to nourish this heart.
So you mean to say that if we are more in touch with what we like and dislike, we will be a bit more peaceful?
Yes, correct. Because that brings our attention inside. And by bringing attention inside, we are balancing connection between the heart and the mind. We are more mindful, we are more present, we're staying inside. So we understand what's happening with our thoughts, with our emotions, with our reactions. Because if you're outside of your mind, or if you're outside busy with your phone, you immediately become very reactive. You cannot control what's happening within you.
Can you give me an example of how was it for you when you didn't really know yourself, and what happened when you got in touch with the feeling of knowing yourself, for people at home to understand the difference of what's happening when you don't know yourself, and when do you have more ideas to actually know yourself more and more? Can you give me
Yes, very, very simple. When I didn't know who I am, when I think my whole journey was about to finding the deep connection with myself. When I didn't know, I was very unhappy. I was playing a role of victim. I was always expecting the world and things to happen to me, or somebody will come and help and solve my problems. I was always upset because my expectations didn't meet, because I was expecting so much from the other people from around, and I never trusted myself that I can do things, that I can make things happen. The moment when it was like that aha moment, it was like a few split seconds when I said, like, stop, enough. I don't want to be in that position. I want to be the master of my life. I want to decide how I want my life to be. I want to take responsibility for everything what is happening in my life, whether it's pain or suffering or something or good things. It's just because I did it once, because I took right actions, or maybe because I didn't take right actions. And I was taking completely the full responsibility for it. And from that moment, I turned my attention not into the mind, not into the thoughts, but more into the sensations of the body. How I feel when things happening around, when I'm communicating with people, when I'm drinking my tea. So it's becoming more aware and mindful about every single action what you do.
So it's becoming fully aware of your actions, is taking responsibility for the good things that you achieve and for the not so good things that you achieve, and keep and maintaining yourself responsible all the time. So during this pandemic, as we are at home and our job has slowed down, how can we take more responsibility?
First of all, you have to take responsibility of your state. Like, what you're feeling. It's very easy to be in a very negative state of mind, right? Being a victim, being scared, because It's like how, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell it how the world wants us to be,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But we we are humans. We are such unique beings that we have this amazing gift of choice and willpower. We can make choices in what state to be. Because when something happens, let's say an action, something happens in our life, and the moment how we're going to react to what happened, there is always a small gap. And if we catch and we feel mindful, we can catch that gap so we can program ourselves how we're going to react. Because if you miss that point, you're going to go really wild with your reactiveness.
However, today we are living in a constant and chronic stress. From morning to evening, we are bombarded by data, by information, by WhatsApp messages. So now we are more prone, more enervated, more stimulated.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you. Thank you for saying it, because that's the truth. But how can we cope with that? First, recognizing that we are overstimulated, that we are stressed out, that you literally will feel in your head and upper body like this white noise in your heart, like bzzz, like all the time. You will feel like your whole body is so much stressed. So what you can do, the moment when you realize it, that you are very much tense and stressed, what you're going to do? You're going to loosen up, you're going to move a little bit, you're going to take a deep breath, like simple, like what I always suggested, that helps me a lot. The moment when I realize that I'm so stressed or I'm so in my mind and I want to like kind of chill out, relax, I take a deep breath, and I just do 5 head rolls, like one side, like let's do it together. Like to do 5 simply head rolls, relaxing and feeling like what are the movements happening, what muscles happen. Simply.
What's happening now in the body when you
To
do
the other side. So what happens physiologically? First of all, because we're moving, we are stimulating our nervous system. We're stimulating our spinal cord. We're releasing the tension with all the nerval endings that are moving between the vertebrae. And immediately feel you're kind of like, you're kind of more soft, you're kind of more relaxed, right? So there is less this bzzz in your upper body.
Could you tell everybody who has joined the best practices that we can implement to protect our inner peace? Like
the best practice that I've seen so far is mindfulness awareness, number 1. It needs to be trained.
Okay.
It needs to be trained. It's like, think about this quality, this gift, this skill, as if you're training your body. If you want to have a fit, strong, beautifully shaped body, what you're going to do? You're going to work every single day, right? So by mindfulness, we're kind of shaping our mind. It's the biggest muscle, the most hardest one. So it needs everyday routine. So if you put, like, simply, you can put a reminder on your phone, like, I don't know, every 3 hours or once a day, like, I'm in the present moment. What happens right now? And whenever you see it, you just stop for a minute. You take a deep breath and you try to feel yourself. You kind of feel 5 senses.
Okay.
You feel space around you, what you do, and immediately you kind of like, you cool down, you calm down.
And of course, you also appreciate the fact that you have a shelter, you have water, and you know, you can.
This is the second one, the gratitude, because fear is the production of the mind. If we're living in the state of fear and all these thoughts, we always will be living here. But love, gratitude, compassion, joy, happiness, they're all products of the heart. So 5 senses, when you activate them, you kind of like asking yourself, what am I feeling? The moment when you become counting your blessings and you become grateful for everything what happens, you connect with your heart, and it also brings the balance.
Speaking of being triggered, somebody on Instagram is just asking, how can we stop checking our WhatsApp messages? Because he feels triggered to constantly check WhatsApp. So how can we?
It's the busyness of the mind. Of course, he has to, that person, I mean, not that person, I think every one of us, we need to understand that, okay, there is not emergency. If it's not an emergency call, keep yourself busy with something else. develop skills that, for example, read more. I don't know, train yourself, listen to your self-developing lectures, watch a movie that you will learn something, that you will benefit. Understand that these little tiny actions, they are addictions. And how are you going to break addiction?
Speaking of addictions, tell us what's happening chemically and energetically in our system, either when we are so reactive and we check WhatsApp, or when we realize the constant danger because we are locked down, we don't know what's happening. You have the most amazing way of teaching. When I was in your course and you were explaining the brain and the nervous system and every intricate thing in the body, I was like this. So I think I want to have 10 hours of interviews with you.
Thank you so much.
If we were able to see in our brain what's happening chemically and what's also happening energetically in our aura, in our system
It
now.
is so, okay, it's so related because I mean, I don't know even where to start from. So I will try to start with the hormones, right? Because when we're stressed, our cortisol level and adrenaline levels are very high. So, and we know that our body is uniquely designed physiologically, not even physiologically, but on other levels as well. So if one of the hormones is getting out of balance, it drags the whole system.
It drags the system.
The whole system, the whole hormones will be unbalanced. Why do you think we are less happy? We don't know how to receive happiness and joy, because that is, you know, that love, being receptive, enjoying, even if you achieve something, you're not enjoying it to the fullest.
Yeah.
It's just because of, okay, it's just that stress hormone, cortisol, hacks the whole system. So how to balance it? You need to start recognizing when you are stressed. You need to do some kind of, it's your responsibility. Nobody's going to give you a magic pill that you will remove stress right away. Anything that happens, the body is designed to feel stress. But you need to recognize where there's external stress, where is the life-threatening stress, and where there is a stress because of the busyness, because of your process of thinking.
Okay.
Okay?
What do we do? So that's what's happening at the hormonal level. What about in terms of dopamine and all the other?
Oh, I mean, this on the phone, it says overstimulates dopamine, right? So think about this like, okay, let's say cortisol, adrenaline, dopamine out of balance, right? What about serotonin?
Time slower. Cortisol, dopamine, adrenaline.
Adrenaline out of the balance, all right? They're like dancing on their own dance outside. So what's happening with the serotonin? So we know that serotonin is produced in guts, but we can control it by physical exercises, right? Haha. Here we're coming to physiological part. Is our body designed to lay down 10 hours or 12 hours on the couch the full day?
Oh no.
No. The body is designed to move. And what we are doing?
Sitting on the couch 10 hours. Not me though. But yeah.
Yeah. So at least 1 hour, I don't know, go to the bathroom, do some squats. Like, I mean, if a good friend of mine, like here in Russia, there is a kind of a small movement, what they decide, like feminists decide, okay, you want to eat something, like to earn, like to eat something, open the fridge, you have to do 10 push-ups, or you have to do 10 burpees. So to a bit of like energizing, and then you go and get like whatever food you need. So it's kind of like not allowing your systems to get everything is easy. Just lift you like your bum from the couch, go to the fridge, open the door and take it. No, you have to deserve it. You have to work hard for it. So even that, it starts stimulating in your mind to achieve something, and in your whole system to achieve something, you need to act.
Cool. And
so that
that's very clever. So whatever you want from the fridge, whatever you want to do, make sure that you trick yourself in saying, I will have it after I do 20 squats, after I do 10 burpees, just to put yourself in a routine of exercising. What your routine, and what do you advise people who are at home, either single, either with families, that what is one easy routine to follow that will help everybody protect their sanity and their inner peace?
Routine is very important because routine gives you a sense of comfort and sense of control. Especially now when we feel that we lost control, we need to have a control it is with something in our environment, which could be our body, which could be our house, which could be our daily activities. So the best idea, the best thing to start your day is, of course, with the cleansing. Like have a wake up, not with the coffee. Warm glass of water, a bit of alkaline. You can put some lemon juice and drink that water. Then do some movements, just help your body to wake up, help your body to move the fluids. You Yeah, shoulders, like simple stretches, like 5 stretches, like to one side, to another side, stretch your shoulders, main joints. I don't know, like do like 5 squats, like even jumping, for example, like hitting your heels will fully wake up your whole system and activate lymphatic system. And you know how much I'm fun. I'm I am in love with lymphatic system, but not on this live on this during this conversation. So that will move your fluids. You will start feeling energy is moving, and then you can continue with the cleansing exercise because we need to remove, because overnight we produce so much waste products, cleaning your tongue, cleaning your nose, showering your body, wherever you need and you feel to do so. After that, you can have for breakfast, you can have a small snack. Some people, it's very hard for them to exercise in the morning. So for some people, because we're all different, our physique and anatomy is very different. Our energy levels are very different. So some people prefer to exercise first thing in the morning. Some people prefer to exercise a little bit like late morning. Some people feel very good exercise in late afternoon or maybe even in the evening. It's all individual. So I cannot tell you what's right, what's wrong. It's all has to be individual.
For sure. My favorite question from this live is for you to educate us as much as time allows on the importance and power of breath work. You've been teaching me things about breath that I didn't hear anywhere else in any book. And since then, I'm implementing it with my clients when I teach public speaking. But I want you to educate us on the importance of breath work and how crucial and how highly related it is with our inner peace.
Okay, I will say 3 main things about breath. First, breath is prana, and prana means life energy. It means, call it oxygen, call it energy, because we cannot live without breath. We cannot live without that, and it's part of us. So it gives us life energy. Second, breath gives oxygen to all our cells, right? And in the environment where there is not enough oxygen, this is where the bacteria and viruses start growing, start producing more. So we need to oxygenate our cells, and there are particular, like a lot of pranayama exercises and techniques where you can literally load yourself with oxygen. You may even feel a little bit high, but your whole body will thank you big time. The third thing what I want to tell you is breath is directly connected with our mind.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when you feel stressed out or you feel scared or something happened, what happens with your breath? You hold it, right? Or it becomes very short.
Right. It's constricted.
Yeah, constricted, like like the whole body gets into the tense, right? So the lungs get tense, because your mind needs to process very quickly. But when we relax, when we feel at ease, what happens? We take a deep breath and we relax, right? So what it shows that mind and breath, they're like 2 fish in the same aquarium. So 1 fish is breath, 2 fish, yeah. 1 is breath, 1 is mind. If one of them swims fast, the other one will also follow it. If one of them slows down, the second one follows. So through the mind, you can control your breath. Through the breath, you can control your mind. And this is what the ancient yogis, this is how the whole yoga thing began 5,000 years before, because yoga was not like, fitness exercises, like programs, what we're doing right now. So the whole yoga actually started with Brahmins, with those ancient priests that they were chanting. And of course, for chanting, they need to do like they were working with lots of breath, with lots of pranayama, and they started reaching the higher states of consciousness. So that was a key point, that oh, through the breath, you can literally reach very different states of consciousness. And then they start training the body because they needed to sit for longer. They needed to develop a bigger capacity of the lungs. So this is where like physical parts of asana starts coming slowly, building up. But it started with pranayama, it started with breath, which is, I cannot emphasize how it is important. If you do,
how is it possible that we are not being taught this in schools? I mean, when I graduated, no one told me about in the anatomy class. No one told me.
What if I tell you that if you're only working with pranayama, your mindfulness will get high. You kind of become feeling free. You kind of will start feeling yourself very powerful, very strong, very much connected to yourself. You will know deep inside what is right and what is wrong. You're kind of becoming awakened. And do you think the system likes it, that people become awakened?
Sure. So it's all about the whole system and why certain things are not.
But again, we all have a personal choice. There are plenty of techniques that anybody can practice, but I highly recommend always to practice them with a trained professional, because with some techniques can bring harm to the physical body.
I know there are many ways, many techniques that you've taught us. What is a simple one that people can start to do tonight when they go to sleep, and also in the morning? So what is
I'll give at the end. I actually was planning to give 3 breath techniques, but it's good that you asked. So the first one is breath with the count. So you can inhale for 5 counts, hold for 5 counts, and exhale through, again, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Never through the mouth. Only insert. And why? First of all, the nose was designed to breathe, right? The mouth was designed to eat and kiss.
Eat and kiss.
Do you know the third function? So the mind, there is nerval endings that directly connect with our mind. So every time when we breathe in, like, yeah, how do you feel we recognize the smell? There are lots of nerval endings in the area of the nose. So it directly stimulates our brain. So some techniques, I mean, sometimes it's not the nerval endings here. Sometimes it's the pressure. Like we can design the pressure in our sarcophagus, in the throat, or even in the lungs. That's also creating this internal pressure in the lungs, creates a very calming, stimulating, and soothing effect for the mind. So very simple, like to keep your mind busy. And if you feel that your mind, like you go to sleep and there's a huge to-do list in your head and you don't know how to stop it, like take 3 cleansing breaths, like inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, like, and hold the exhale as long as possible, but soft.
Is good to relax.
Yeah, it's like, it kind of like brings you down. Then you can start with the counts, like 5, breathing through the nose, 5 counts on inhale, hold your breath for 5 counts, exhale for 10 counts.
One more time. Inhale for
5. Inhale 5 counts, hold your breath for 5 counts, exhale 10 counts, and again you can hold for 5 counts after exhale. And you will immediately, for some people and for the beginners, that might be a bit difficult. So maybe it's easier for beginners to start like 5, 8, 5. 5, 5, 8, 5, 5. Okay, or even 4, 4. With the time, when you start practicing, you will notice that, oh, you have more capacity. You can extend it even longer.
Natalia, someone on Instagram is asking, what about someone who has chronic sinus and a blocked nose?
Blocked nose. First of all, I mean, the breath, before starting the breathing, of course, I'm not a doctor, but that means that person has a lot of mucus. That person needs to really look at the nutrition and change, help the body to release this mucus.
Okay.
But if the nose is blocked, I would recommend another exercise, which is called shitali,
How is
which
it?
is shitali,
Italy.
shitali,
Italy.
shitali, shitali. Yeah. So it's here you can breathe through the mouth.
How? Okay.
So inhale. If you can you make your tongue
Yeah, yeah. You taught us this.
like a straw? Some people cannot do it. So those who cannot do it, yes, those who cannot do it, they will make their lips like
Okay.
a small straw, and they will inhale. Hold the breath and exhale. Whether if you can exhale through the nose, that's perfect. Again, keep your exhales as long as possible, soft and long. And if you cannot exhale through the nose, you can softly again exhale through the same
Okay.
straw.
So this will be a good alternative for people who have a nose block or
Yes.
sinus, and it will still
Mm-hmm.
be able to have a certain
Yes.
influence over their mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about if people don't like yoga, which I know that there are some people who don't like yoga. What can we ask them to do apart from jumping and dancing? Because we want them to move. We want the energy to move, not to stay, not to remain stagnant.
Anything physical, they need to move the body. Anything physical.
What if
Whatever they like, whatever they enjoy the most, they can do squats, they can do dancing. Stretching is also wonderful. For example, passive stretching, uh, jumping, or I don't know, like fitness, squats. I mean, there are plenty of exercises. Tai Chi, simple Tai Chi movements, for example. I mean, now online, you can find anything.
and everything. The problem that I want to address, and I'm sure that there will be some people who will find themselves in this, is that the more you sit, and the more you start to having the thoughts and be in your mind, the more you are in the mind and you're not really moving and you're getting complacent and not moving. So can you describe what's happening in the system and how dangerous is when we don't move?
Stagnation. It creates stagnation first. The fluids are not moving. The blood is not moving. Look, our cells, as our cells receive the oxygen, they produce stuff and they produce the waste products. So as the circulatory system brings oxygen to the cells and removes the other things, lymphatic system removes the waste products between the cells and extracellular matrix. It's the space between the cells. This is where all the toxins, waste products are accumulated. If you are not moving, those waste products and toxins that keep building and building and building, you literally start being full with all this crap, with all this garbage. Movement activates the lymphatic system, activates the fluid, so it flushes all the toxins. Sweating, spa, taking a hot bath, taking a bath with salt and bicarbonate, like with salt, sea salt and bicarbonate. It also activates this. It's vitally crucial to remove. Otherwise, you get poison, you get toxic. The healing in yoga, the therapy, the all therapeutical effects in yoga, it's not. It's actually 90% of removal of the waste. It's all about removing the waste. It's not how much vitamins you take. If you focus on how much waste you remove from the body, you will be supporting the physical body. And you will feel great mentally, energetically, emotionally. It's all related. If one of these chains is broken on balance, it activates and drags the whole chain.
In other simple words, movement will activate the lymphatic system, which will allow your body to get rid of waste. And if you fail to do that, it will accumulate it like a big pile of stuff. And
What happens, for example, what happens with the lake, or let's say a small pond, when there's no water, like there's no water movement? It starts becoming smelly, right? You need to open so the water flushes it out. It's the same with our body. So movement is life. Movement is health. Movement is youth and flexibility.
Okay, so for
sorry, Andrea, I had a very interesting question. One of my followers here, sometimes there's a permanent stress that you cannot remove from your life. What do you do then? First, you need to recognize it. What is that permanent stress? And you need to understand what are the triggers and where it's coming from. Realizing and understanding the triggers, understanding the source of it, this is where the healing already begins. If you don't know where it's triggered, just send a question, send an inquiry. Our subconsciousness is amazing. It will bring things to the surface and you will find an answer. Sometimes stress caused by, it's so lately favorable to call like limiting beliefs or programs that we take from the childhood, from our parents. These are the patterns or programs that when we were children, we kind of took it because parents were our gods, they were our authority, and we thought that this is the right thing, what they did. That means it's the only way and it's going to work for me. But when we grew up and we become adults, we understand it's not helping us. We need to remove this program. So understanding if it's yours or if it's not yours, you always can have a choice. You can say, enough, I don't want it. You can replace it. You can change the pattern. You can remove this program.
Natalia, but for people, irrespective of the patterns that we've inherited from our mom or dad, because they were our gods when we were kids, and even now, if someone lost their job and their savings are going very fast, how do you deal with the fact that, you know, your survival is at stake? How can breath, how can mindfulness, how can inquiring your subconscious mind can really help you? I mean, this is what maybe God knows how many thousands of people are going through tonight, right now.
It's very, very philosophical and deep question. Thank you for asking it. I mean, I am I am very positive person. Even in pain and suffering or bad things happening, I always see the positive outcome.
Yeah. As you are answering,
Tell the story.
You guys watching this live, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when I broke up with someone who I thought is the love of my life, I was going through a mild depression. I was suffering because I lost this person and I couldn't work. So financially I was crap. It was very bad. And I went to a yoga session because what I could do is yoga with Natalia. And one evening she saw my face was down, and I told her, I'm not making money. I have few savings. I broke up with this guy. My life is over. And you know what was her reply? Her reply was, enjoy it. I'm like, Natalia, what do you mean enjoy it? Enjoy it, because it will lead you to a path of self-discovery. And later in 2020, we will do a live and you will laugh at it. And God bless you. God bless you. We're laughing at it. God bless you.
But now look back, rewind it back. If that didn't happen, where would you be now? You wouldn't be who you are right now.
I wouldn't.
Not at all. Everything what happens, I mean, I trust universe. I mean, universe talks to us. Everything what happens to us is happening for the reason. With our physical body, because with pain and suffering, we're becoming closer to God. We're becoming closer to ourselves. This is only when this, that sparks, that aha moment happens, when we face it. Unfortunately, we don't learn lessons when everything is perfect and great around us. We only learn lessons when
That is true. We learn lessons when we are faced, like fear is here and you are here like, hello, fear. But now when collectively billions of people are facing the same thing,
this is a very important lesson for all of us. Again, remember about our choice. We can't be victims. We can allow ourselves to be driven by the fear. And I know fear is very tricky, but fear is an illusion of the mind. If there is something that you fear so much, and the only thing that I can just give you like free step, easily remove it. Easily understand that fear is illusion. First, understand what it is. What is so much scared of it? Look at it as a teacher.
Oh.
Look at your fear as a teacher, because it's definitely there to teach you something. Second, Leave that fear with all possible variations as if it already happened to you.
Give us an example.
For example, you're afraid, like now in this pandemic, what will happen? Your job is at stake, right? And you have a family that you're going to support, right? And you're afraid that your office can fire you or anytime and you're going to be without job. What are you going to do, right?
Right.
That this fear that you're so much dependent on someone else, you're so much dependent on the company, because I'm sorry to tell, for many years you didn't depend on yourself. You didn't trust yourself enough to take the responsibility and become self-employed, become doing something that you will not depend on anyone. This is one thing. Second thing, okay, if that happened, what happened? Will you be the worst person in the world? Yes, some limits, some challenges will happen, but you will be pushed to create things, to create new projects to survive, to earn money. You will literally push yourself to the limits, but to find it. And in that pushing, you will understand, in those challenges, you will understand how amazing, magnificent, and powerful you are. So when you recognize it and understand what is, and then see it as a teacher, when you leave all variations of the fear with all possible variations, then you say, okay, thank you. You will actually, after you leave all these possible variation, alternative variations of the fear, if the situation happened, you will actually understand it's not as big as I thought. It's actually, there's nothing to be scared of. When you do this, you kind of really embrace your power and you take responsibility for everything what happens. You understand, okay, damn, I created that illusion, that thought, or it was planted into my head by someone else. That could be your mama, papa, your teacher, your spouse, anyone. Don't blame them. It's just like you selected to, you choose, like at one point you choose to believe in it. But who is the one who's gonna choose to not believe in it?
And
You.
this is the moment where I want you to teach everyone the biggest thing that made my life so much easier after I did my course with you, when you taught us about the observer, the seer. Can you go? I know, right? You see? You see? Am I not a good student or what?
That observer, I call it the meta observer. It kind of gives you an angle to look at yourself without any judgment. You kind of step out of your situation or even your physical body from the side and you look at yourself, how you react. You look at things, how it happens. And that will give you the clear idea, picture, like is a third person. I know it's some people may say that I'm a little bit not sane with the pandemic, but that meta observer is helping a lot, because kind of this observer is a kind of like your true consciousness or your true self, kind of stepping out of all the illusions, layers, fears, and everything that you're holding and attached so much to it. Your ego is stepping out of it, and that sees the clear picture. Because when you step out of, you literally understand that, okay, you have fear, you have illusions, you have emotions, and you're a human being. But they are just like, clothes. Whenever you decide, you can remove them and you can be free, you can liberate yourself. But first, to liberate them, you need to understand, you need to recognize them, you need to understand why you're carrying them.
What is like clothes? I couldn't hear you because of our connection.
Okay, fear, for example, fear, illusions, like thoughts, layers, programs, patterns, limiting beliefs, they're kind of like clothes that we every day we put a new one, we remove it. If we don't like it, right? If we don't like it, we don't wear it for a month. But when we like it, we wear it and we feel it. It's like this.
Okay.
But who is the one who is making decision that you can remove it, throw it away, or give it away someone and get the one that perfectly suits you?
Right.
Us. And that us is the true self that is connected to the higher self.
So can we say that a person can step out of themselves, put themselves in a corner of the room and just watch the movie, watch the play?
And you will be surprised how strong and energetically balanced that person will become. Even if you do something, for example, yes, you're focusing on your children, but that observer you keep it kind of inside, and at the same time, okay, how do I feel? What is happening? I'm playing with my children, but at the same time, what's happening in me? And why am I reactive? Am I because of I'm tired, or I don't have, I didn't have a good sleep, or I just need like 5 or 10 minutes of silence? The answers will come right away. And this is one of the secrets to how to keep our energy high.
And you are a master in teaching our energy high, how to materialize and manifest. Um, I haven't had a chance to tell anyone on this live that you are teaching 200 and 300 hours of yoga, and you certify people to become yoga teachers. How many graduates did you have? I think you had like 3 or 4 batches.
Oh, yeah, 3 or 4 batches. It's around 80 to 90 graduates.
And of course, you had these 90 graduates, and I'm one of them after studying intensely for like about 17, 18 years. So if anyone is interested, you are coming loaded with almost 2 decades of knowledge, and no wonder. And speaking of high energy, because we have to take responsibility to move, to choose our thoughts, to observe ourselves, teach us in order to maintain our energy high and keep our peace of mind. What are the best foods to eat?
Mm-hmm.
You taught me to eat more alive food because that will energize my body. But I want you to tell us more about the best food that we can eat now when we are locked, we can't move much, we can socialize.
First, stop eating crap.
People, stop crap.
Yeah. Remove all the, like, everybody knows what bad food is, and everybody is eating bad food, right? And then they come in with the question, okay, give me a solution, give me a wonderful food that will keep me healthy. Come on, remove the waste first, and then and then load yourself with the good stuff. Because if you, again, I mean, the best option is, again, there is no right or wrong. For each person, the nutrition part is different, because some people need more of specific nutrients, some people need other nutrients. But that's why the best option is conscious eating. And it needs to be trained, because sometimes your mind wants to will be craving for this sugar, but actually your body doesn't need it. But what I'm trying to say is live food that was less cooked, that the energy, the prana is still in there, because we also observe and we receive energy through food a lot. Food that will not make our body like, oh, and this is the best lesson that you can learn. If you ate like something, a heavy lunch, and within like 1 hour or 2 hours, you're like, ooh, like your battery goes down, for 100% sure, that was not a good food. It was your body, because if you eat something good, like, you will be energized. Like after 1 hour, you will be going on the treadmill and running like a marathon.
Best examples.
Examples, okay. Lots of greens, lots of liquids, vitamins. Try to get live vitamins, but be careful with fruits. There's a high level of fructose, and fructose, when we eat it, 30% of it immediately goes into fat.
Yeah.
This is how our body is designed.
Yeah.
So try not to load yourself with the carbs. So try to be balanced. So a bit of proteins, a bit of carbs, and good fats. Good healthy fats. And again, as we different, we have 3 different body types. So each body type requires different nutrition plan. So if you are look
What are the 3 different bodies?
ectomorphose, metamorphose, and endomorphose, I think. I don't know, they're very tricky questions, but information on the internet is full of them. So if you want to find why you're not losing weight, first of all, identify your body type. Okay. Because your digestion works in a different specific hours. You need a different ratio of carbs, protein, and fats. And that's it. You need to know. And again, I'm not a professional. Yes, I know I have some knowledge in nutrition, but I'm no one. So find a nutrition experience, investigate, and do. But nothing will be wrong. But if you implement and add, like, minimize your portions and add lots of greens and vegetables.
But Natalia, we eat our emotions, and because we are a bit more stressed, we are overindulging. So
mindfulness and awareness. When you go to that fridge, that's why when you do this 10 squats, you have time to think, why do I need this another scoop of ice cream? Do I really need it? Or is it me because I'm not feeling happy, or am I feeling down? But once you like then 10 squats, damn, I feel good. I don't need that another ice cream.
I don't know if this will help anyone listening now, but I've put a goal for myself to come out of this quarantine with 2 kilograms less. I'm working out at 2 p.m. every day, doing cardio and fitness in the house. I'm taking care of my skin. I switched. I had days when I was binging, and then I said, no, this is not me. And then I chose to create a clear goal, to tone my body, to drink more water, because it's right here next to me. I have no excuse that I didn't have time.
Exactly.
So I invite more and more people to do so, because again, as you said, it's our choice.
It's our responsibility as well. Because who else is going to take care of this beautiful temple that God gave you to enjoy the goods of life, the pleasures of life? This is an instrument, and if your instrument is broken, how can you produce a wonderful music? How can you enjoy what is given to you on the plate by the universe?
I want to revise the question about food. So you said, cut the crap, stop eating crap because you are putting waste in your body. Make sure that you are removing the waste in your body through movement and breath and drinking water, and add more greens, green food, and more alive food.
Vegetables. If you're cooking, for example, if you're cooking vegetables, try not to overcook, but some vegetables needs to be cooked well.
Okay. We will have to wrap up in 5-7 minutes, because 1 hour.
Oh my God.
1 hour with you went like this.
It's always like this. Like it's like always like 10 minutes. It's like we can speak non-stop every time.
Somebody, because you are a Wikipedia, I call you a Wikipedia.
No, because I have access to the universal Google.
Have access to the universal Google. Yes, yeah, I remember you saying that always. I asked when, in terms of routine, after we wake up, we breathe, we meditate, we cleanse our body by drinking water with lemon. Throughout the day, we move a bit more. What else can we do in terms of a routine? Somebody just asked.
Meditate. Include meditation.
Why?
Even if you were meditating once, try to do it 2-3 times. Give food for your heart.
Give food for your heart.
Heart, for your spirit. Not only for your eyes, for the mind, or for the body, also feed yourself with information, with knowledge that you can benefit.
Can you explain?
That you spirit, that you can grow, because this is one in a lifetime opportunity for us to wake up and to achieve any kind of goals that we always wanted. Read those books, watch those series, take those courses. It's a one lifetime opportunity. Take responsibility, make a routine, make a to-do list, stay disciplined to that list, and you will achieve amazing goals.
Natalia beautifully said. Natalia, for people who have not meditated, or they don't really understand the benefits of meditating, although everybody meditates, what happens in the brain, with the brain, when we meditate? In simple words, for people who don't know much about it.
Lord, you will feel like you slept for 3 hours. You will completely feel zen, even if if you learn how to meditate. I'm speaking from my personal experience. Now meditation is my sanity saver and lifesaver, because with kids, they're always loud, there is lots of noise and everything. So after you meditate, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes, it doesn't bother you, because you are within you. You understand that it's the process of learning. You have to allow them to be noisy. You have to allow them to be expressive. But you understand your borders, you understand that you're here and you feel good. They will not bother you that much, but you will feel much rested, you will feel much present, you will feel much grounded and centered as well.
I know that because of the whole stress that we are surrounded, our root chakra, our first chakra that is responsible for our survival, is more stimulated. So what people can look online for, what type of meditations?
Forget about root chakra now.
Okay.
Forget about root chakra and meditation related to the root chakra. Strong, like squats, the best squats or any exercises for the legs are the best energy balancing, especially lower center energy balancing, because when we're overthinking, the energy comes to the upper centers, to the upper body. When we squat, the energy goes down and immediately it brings the effect of calming down. So any kind of leg exercises, you will feel like really rested. It will balance your root chakra. It will activate your energy roots with the Mother Earth, and itself you will feel like, okay, I just need to I just need to pause, I need to be quiet. And after that exercise, if you sit just for 5 minutes with a straight spine, close your eyes. You can, if so much noise going around you, put the earplugs, put the eye shades for 5 minutes, isolate yourself from any senses and just go inside. What you're feeling, how you're breathing, how your body is feeling, what is happening within, what is disturbing you, why it is disturbing you. So kind of going into the journey inside of you, into the self. So as we, like with the mind, go one layer by out, this is like with layer, you start going inside, and you start discovering yourself. So even 5 minutes will do magic. And you will understand after 5 minutes, you'll say, it's too short. I want to go, I want to stay longer.
Okay, so squats, leg exercises to balance the energy in your root chakra, and minutes of stillness. We have someone called the Invisible King from Instagram saying that has been an absolutely amazing and informative session. Thank you so much, Andrea and Natalia, for making this happen. And Iwana Travel, she says, can we join your webinar somehow? How can they access you and learn more from you?
They can easily access. Thank you guys for being with us and listening to our conversation. I think Andrea, we should do more of this kind of lectures, like on particular different topics, because the energy exchange is very interesting, and you asking questions brings lots of different insights from me as well. I'm planning to be more active with the webinars. And of course, if I'm announcing them on my social media, on my Instagram, which is at natalia.fata. I mean, you can guys contact Andrea. She can give you all the details. Some of my followers ask about the plantar fasciitis. Divya, can you please contact me directly in person? I will tell you what to do. So I'll give you some suggestions. So
people are really, really happy. They are saying that they are filled with gratitude for both of us, that they've learned so much from you and they will apply everything you said. So we've done a good job.
yes, I think we covered so much useful information that people can easily apply. And I think because we're not academics, we are talking from our personal experience. And that experience gives people understanding that they can do as well. Everything is actually not that much complicated. Everything is very simple, but it requires routine. It requires discipline.
All right.
All right.
We are coming back maybe in 5 days, maybe in 7 days, whenever, because you have two little girls, you have a husband, you have a business to run, you are doing you're teaching yoga online, and you are certifying people. So you're busy.
That's why I'm happy. I really love what I do. I'm so passionate about what I do. I really enjoy so much changing people's life. And when I receive one notification from someone that something happened, I mean, my job is done. I'm happy.
You're getting many notifications from me.
Not only. But Andrea, thank you so much for such a wonderful opportunity to open up, to speak to people and share this knowledge. And I will be very happy to contact with everyone. Guys, you can ask Andrea, actually come up with ideas what exactly you would like to hear from the next session, from the next live.
And Priska is here, our lovely. And Ioana says, okay, guys, before Natalia will leave, do you have any burning questions that she might, oh, actually we have 15 seconds before Instagram will close because Instagram allows you only 60 minutes. So we love you because now it's gonna disconnect on Instagram.